Hi, I'm Michael Maher, CEO of OnePassport. We've been receiving a number of questions surrounding the Australian Immunisation Register and the roles of state and territories versus federal government in the vaccine passport discussion. So I want to talk a bit about that, answer a few of the questions. So firstly, at a federal level, the Service Australia operates something called the Australian Immunisation Register, AIR. It's been around for a number of years. Until 2021, it wasn't mandatory for adults' vaccination details to be uploaded into it, only children's. It is now mandatory for flu shots and COVID vaccinations for all of us to be uploaded into AIR. It'd probably be better if it had all vaccinations, because if you go and get a whooping cough vax, for example, because you're going to visit friends with a newborn, you mightn't actually have it saved in AIR. It might only be on a little piece of paper. Now, it's a bit of a misnomer that it's called the Australian Immunisation Register, because at this stage it only tracks vaccinations. Immunisations implies both vaccinations and serology, which is test results. They work together. A really good example is if I'm a doctor in a hospital, chances are that I need to have or maintain a hepatitis B vaccination. So I go and get a Hep B vaccination, and every couple of years I will go and have a Hep B test. And when the antibodies in my blood drop below a certain level, I will go and have another Hep B vaccination. That's how vaccinations and tests work together. I've heard a rumour that they're trying to expand the capability of AIR to include test results, but it doesn't do it at this stage, which is quite a relevant thing because COVID testing is going to become a lot more predominant, especially with rapid antigen testing. So we'll need to have a way in which we can easily record that and show it as we get around society, from travel to social, etc. So that's AIR, operated by Service Australia as part of the federal government. Now, most of the states and territories have a Service New South Wales, Service Victoria or equivalent style app. They're all on different platforms, so they all operate slightly differently. And at this stage, Service New South Wales is probably the most advanced one of them. From a COVID context, they all do a check-in capability. So they've got a QR code system that they've rolled out across the state or territory. And as you turn up, you get your phone, you scan the QR code with the Service Victoria, Service New South Wales app, and it actually checks you in from a contact tracing point of view. If there is an outbreak at that location, they can look up who was there during that time and contact you. Now, there's reports in the paper saying that starting with New South Wales, followed by Victoria, I believe, that they're looking to combine your vaccination status from AIR with the state government's contact tracing app and system. So that when I turn up at a cafe or a sporting game or any live event really, I scan in and it actually clocks me for my contact tracing, but it also shows on my phone my vaccination status, so that I can show the cafe or the pub or the ticket people at a live event, because it might be vaccinated people only, or they might want to know if I am unvaccinated, certain rules. So that's what they're talking about now. I'm really interested to see how they do that, because at this stage there is no connection, interoperability, between the federal and the state systems. Not only from a technology point of view to actually share that data, but from a policy point of view. That's why logging into the MyGov and Medicare apps is such a pain in the ass, because the what's called the consent policy, the security around logging in is so tight. That's why you have the long username and password. You've got the two-factor authentication every time where it sends you the text message. That's because that's the policy for logging into federal databases. Whereas at the state level, there is almost no check-in policy. I log my name and it sends me a text message to confirm that that is my phone, and it sends me an email to confirm that is my email address, but that's about it. So wait and see in this space. They're saying that they'll be ready in a few weeks, so very interested to see, because this is what's happening around the world. We're part of a conversation all around the world, and this is something that all countries are trying to solve at this stage. So we are ahead of the game. Most countries don't have an AIR like we do. But as how it plays out and who does what, it'll be interesting to watch. Keep safe.